Hello, my name is Helmut Flash, a practice management consultant. What we do is we help dentists, doctors, and as well as other businesses, but mainly dentists and doctors, to improve their business to a level where they enjoy practicing, where they can actually still have a life besides their practice because they have A, time, and B, money to do so. This is about growing your practice to a level where you can enjoy it and then do other things if you want to, including creating other income streams and things like that. Now, let's talk a little bit about the current economy, politics, and how they influence your practice. So let's make this particular point today: income in the practice based on the current economy, based on the current politics. What will happen? I absolutely positively 100% don't know. I'm not so sure anybody else does. I don't think so. Some of us, if we make a guess, we might potentially be right. But then again, absolutely not. Here is, however, what I do know: you can be relatively unaffected by it. Now, please, relatively unaffected, because no matter what happens, of course, we all are affected. There is no doubt about it. We're always affected all our life from all kinds of things which we didn't create. The difference is just how do we handle it. You need to survive tomorrow. You want to survive tomorrow better than today, if possible, or at least not get a lot worse. You want to have fun. You want to still enjoy life. Keep in mind, the good thing about anything bad, which might or might not happen, is that it also goes away. But here's what's happening all the time in 30 years consulting businesses, mostly dentists and mostly doctors, but also other businesses, very small, middle, large, and very big, like all companies and or manufacturers in the steel industry, etc. However, here's what I noticed. When the going gets tough, when there's less money around, when there is economic chaos or at least fear, people start cutting back, saving, clamming down their money. And in one word, almost all small practitioners start stopping advertising less. In fact, you can see it because Facebook and other marketing companies, vehicles, they already basically report huge drops in marketing. Keep in mind that 70, 80, 90% of all the marketing and all the really things happening on this planet are done by the small, medium business owner, which means it's the small, medium business owners who stops and cuts down. This is not a good thing. A doctor in New York in Manhattan, he stopped advertising in the summer before he was on my service. Because in the summer, he says in Manhattan, people are leaving and they're not here and nobody goes and other doctors don't advertise either. And I said, yeah, that's why we must advertise because other ones don't and we will stick out. You see, Walmart was created not in the big cities where there was, already lots of competition. People had things to do. No, 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 no. He went to the small places where he stuck out. A big mistake is when things get a little tough, whether this is just because of you in your own practice or in general. But let's now talk in general. Most people cut back. They cut back on staff. They cut back on hours. They cut back on marketing, all kinds of other little things. Doctors, thanks God, are the last ones to cut back on quality till it doesn't go anymore. And if you cut too much back on marketing and on your personnel, you will get into that range. Now you will tell me, yeah, but there is no other way. You see, it's very normal to cut back on marketing first because that's the bill you need to spend. The electricity and all that other stuff, the malpractice insurance, even your personnel, blah, blah, blah. You have to pay that. The rent, the mortgage, whatever. You have to pay that. Otherwise, you're not there. So I get it. There must be a way to do it anyway. And of course, there are ways. There always are one way or the other way, other ways. Sometimes it takes a little longer to kind of like, make it and get traction. Sometimes it goes faster. It all depends on your practice. Get yourself a 1 hour consultation with us, with me. Let's talk about it. Let's do an analysis. Here's the thing. If you do the things right, it may be hard, it may be long, but you need to build a foundation. Nothing has changed in marketing for 5,000 years. It's always the same. Is tell a good story, tell it emotionally, and all this type of stuff. And then the vehicle has changed a lot. It changes almost every day. But you see, it changing every day makes no damn difference because Facebook and YouTube or whatever, they tell us their new rules anyway, and we can only go by what they do anyway. But if you stop to market, you will go down. And if you don't stop in a time where everyone else stops, you will stick out. you'll come out ahead. It has been like that all the time. This is basically the saying, if one door closes, another one opens. Let me tell you something right now. Thousands and thousands and at most thousands of dentists are closing the door by cutting hours, by cutting time, by cutting service, and by cutting personnel and by cutting marketing. And if you somewhere along the line can stay ahead of that curve, you have no idea what's happened if and when the economy comes back. And trust you me, it will come back roaring. People will have their teeth, they need to be fixed because they also had less money and they didn't fix it. And when it happens again, the last man standing, so to say, will cash in on it. And it won't be very far from now. We will take a whole bunch of doctors on that road. That is for sure. Maybe you too. Give us a call. Bye-bye.